Hello YouTubers, this is Cessna Ace back again with another mega LaserDisc ads video, this time in widescreen. But that's not why I'm redoing the video that I uploaded yesterday. I had shown a canceled LaserDisc release, but I forgot to mention what the title was. So I did an annotation. And the thing about annotations is, and it's been this way for a long time, if you put in text and you decide there's something wrong with that text, you want to alter that text, you can't. If you decide to put in a different start point or a different end point, you can't. If you want to delete the annotation, you can't. If you want to add another one, you can't. At least I haven't been able to. And I mistakenly put in the wrong out point with that one, and it wound up staying up through the rest of the video. So, in addition to this one being in widescreen, I'm also going to try and remember to mention the title of that canceled release for one thing, but I'm also going to try and show more LaserDisc in this video. Now, Super High Band Betamax has requested that I go back to doing what I was doing, which was to mention how much I paid for each LaserDisc. Sometimes that's easier said than done because of the way I do my LaserDiscs. I keep them in alphanumerical order, the ones that I'm going to show, but then I buy new ones yesterday and today, or I have more come in from ABC Lasers or Music and More or whatever. And so I go through and I integrate those within the ones yet to show. So everything is in alphanumerical order. And then I'll do another video, and then I'll add more, or more will come in or whatever, and I'll integrate those. What winds up happening is everything from about the letter R on never gets showed. I'm trying to decide whether I should keep going the way I'm doing it, or if I should change, and whenever new ones come in, add them after the letter Z for the ones I have yet to show, to give those a chance to be shown. In any event, I am going to show all the ones that I showed in the previous attempt at this video that I uploaded, but I'm going to try and add in more. First up is the original issue of a reissue that I showed recently. Had a different cover. I could have sworn when I bought it that I had the original issue because I can remember the cover, seeing the cover. But after I went in and added the reissue to my collection, I couldn't find the original issue. I couldn't find it within my collection. I couldn't find it at the LaserDisc database in my collection there. So I said, well, I must have seen it at yesterday and today out at the flea market, and then planned on getting it, but then didn't. But I got a package from Music and More yesterday, which is in the Netherlands, and it was in that package. So what had happened was I had seen it at Music and More, bought it, and so that was in my head. I had seen the cover, I had decided to buy it, I had bought it, I just didn't have it yet. Well, I have it now. And you say, all that preamble for this one release. Well, yeah. 1984. As I mentioned in that rather lengthy preamble, this is the original issue. I have the reissue, which has a different cover, that was licensed by Image Entertainment from Polygram Video. This was released by Image Entertainment under license from IVE, or International Video Entertainment Incorporated. I have the complete run of Space 1999s, and it's really strange. Some of them are licensed from IVE, and some of the volumes are, or most I should say, are licensed from J2, communications. Anyway, this is the original issue. Some good things and bad things about Image Entertainment. Good thing is that they always included digital sound and analog sound with CX noise reduction encoding. This differs them from their main competitor, Pioneer, because Pioneer charged extra for that. So if you were a publisher and you wanted to add digital sound, for the longest time you had to pay extra for it. Bad thing is, Image kept using this CD video logo, which is highly what's the word I'm looking for? Deceptive. As I told Pattimus recently, my mind is like a big, powerful V8 firing on 7 cylinders most of the time. Also, unlike Pioneer, Image never made LaserDisc, so they had to rely on everyone else who made LaserDisc. Everyone else who made LaserDisc. I have releases from Image made by everybody in the world. This is Image Entertainment release ID 6236IV. Made by 3M. 3M is actually one of the better of the LaserDisc manufacturers that we had. In fact, for the longest time, they were considered the Rolls-Royce of LaserDisc manufacturers. I paid $19.95 for 1984. Next up is a sealed LaserDisc from the Netherlands. The Accused. Now, as I've mentioned before, CIC Video or Kick Video were the exclusive distributors in countries outside of the US for Paramount, Universal, and DreamWorks. One of the countries apparently being the Netherlands. Okay, this has 12 chapter markers. It's in the PAL standard, encoded with Dolby Surround. This is release 1990011NL. Digital stereo. Made in UK by PDO, Philips DuPont Optical. The sparse code on the audio is ADD, meaning that it was recorded with analog equipment, mixed with digital equipment, and the final media is digital. Also has the Polygram Video logo on it. Post Office Box 2057 1200 CB, Hilversum, and L. I won't give out the phone number. This one I paid all of $1.95 for. Music and More comes across a lot of sealed LaserDisc both US releases and also releases from other countries. And they also come across a lot of canceled releases. This is one that was originally going to be published by Cascar, C-A-S-C-A-R. They contracted with Curray to make up a batch of discs, but before the jackets could be printed, they canceled the release. This is how Cascar received the discs from Curray. I don't know, but I would imagine that this was released on LaserDisc in the US. Just a hunch. This is American Ninja 2. Has the Cascar logo on it. Distributed by Cascar Video. This was to be released LD-NL-041. I'm fairly certain that one that I had shown before that was going to be published by Cascar that was canceled had the number LD-NL-040. If that's the case, then there were two numbers in sequence that where they canceled the release. It says right on the label, made in Japan by Curray. LaserDisc laser read upwards. So the mint marks for side 1 are going to be on the side labeled, in this case, Kent 2. LD-NL-041-A02-K. Batch mark number is 3L191361. And, of course, Music and More gets a lot of canceled releases and test pressings and so forth, because one of the co-developers of the LaserDisc format was Philips, which is based in the Netherlands. Music and More is in the Netherlands. So they get a lot of employees and former employees of Philips bringing this stuff in, which is cool. Okay, I paid $19.50 for American Ninja 2, the canceled release. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous attempt at this video, this is a movie I saw in the theater, and the theater was packed. And I usually don't get up and leave as soon as the film ends. You know, when the credits start, I'll usually sit there and watch the credits. A, because I can learn things that way, and B, when the theater is crowded, it gives me a chance to wait for the crowd to thin out some. But I kept noticing in the corner of my eye, through my peripheral vision, that I was being stared at. Then I noticed that everyone filing out was black. I was the only white guy there. And of course, that sort of thing doesn't ever mean anything to me, but apparently it stuck in my mind for a long time, because this movie came out in 1989. But as I remember it, I enjoyed the movie, so there you go. Yes, Martha, I can get into R-rated movies. This has 17 chapter markers, 7 on side 1 and 10 on side 2. It is Paramount Home Video Release LV32316. Encoded with Dolby Surround. Paid $3 for that. Yesterday and today. Okay, this one I don't remember how much I paid for, and I don't remember if I got it from yesterday and today, or Music and More, because it's a adult title, and both of those entities sell adult titles. I guess it's okay to flash the front cover of this one. I did it the previous time I did this video, so what the hey. This is called Hidden Obsessions. I can't remember if the cover is on display at the LaserDisc database. They have covers for all the ones they have covers for. People are submitting new covers all the time. Anyway, from LaserDisc Entertainment, front company for Image Entertainment, we have Hidden Obsessions. She was covering everything. Don't try and freeze frame it or anything. Here's the back. This is release Z0316, adult material. If I told you how many adult titles were released on LaserDisc, you wouldn't believe me. But a lot. And some of them have never been reissued on DVD or Blu-ray. Rated X, non-violent. American publishers always have to feel like they have to put that there because in the early days, before they went to hardcore porn and they were doing softcore, they were mixing it up with violence, in some cases extreme violence, and they were heading down the road of government agencies being formed to ban such films or to rate such films and so forth. So they elected, we're not going to go down that road. We're going to get totally away from mixing porn with violence. They also got totally away from plots. But in any event, side 1 has 11 chapters. Ooh, they give you the exact running time. 59 minutes, 23 seconds. It's in CLV, most probably CAA. Side 2 is chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Is in CAV and runs 29 minutes, 59 seconds. Has digital stereo. That's kind of pushing it for CAV. Kind of pushing it for CAA 60s. If it truly runs 59.23. But then they also had CAA 65s and CAA 70s, and I believe there was a CAA 75. Just nobody used those. Okay, this is a first in my collection because it's from Republic Pictures Home Video, but it's a THX certified release. First time I'd ever run across that from Republic, and also encoded with AC3 Dolby Digital. Another first. The jacket is really cool. That is raised from the main part of the jacket, but the blade is raised even more, and it feels like steel or something. Anyway, it even reflects light. Now, I had to pay extra for this one because he had put it aside for me yesterday and today. For some strange reasons, and he thought I would want it. This is the director's cut, special edition. Features new state-of-the-art digital widescreen transfer supervised by the producers, the original theatrical trailer, running audio commentary by director Russell Mulcahy, producers Peter Davis and William Panzer, hundreds of behind-the-scenes photos, production and publicity stills, photos from scenes left on the editing room floor, still frame slideshow highlighting the evolution of the film from scripting to casting and on through production to release, featuring production notes and letters, script revisions, reviews, and publicity articles, a virtual 3D photograph of the katana sword. I guess that would be the cover. It's kind of like 3D. Not in a gatefold jacket. I think these are called Trifold. But really cool. Although I can't see what I'm doing. Anyway, from Republic Pictures, release 25895. As I stated before, the only release I have from Republic Pictures THX certified. The only release I have from Republic Pictures is such a fancy jacket. The only release I have from Republic Pictures is AC3W digitally encoded. Now shall I stop saying the only release from Republic Pictures now? Okay, this is a Netherlands release of High Plains Drifter. This is not sealed. From Kick Video. Last time licensed from Paramount, or they were distributing for Paramount, this time for Universal. PAL standard 15 chapter markers. Digital sound. This is release 1990161 NL. Digital sound. Sparse code is AAD. Here's that Polygram video logo again. But as I've mentioned before, and I think this is neat, Hong Kong releases do this and Japanese releases do this. They print all the relevant information on the spine, yes, but also on the top. So if you just want to thumb through, you can. The red part, it just says PAL. So if they can do it in the Netherlands, and they can do it in Hong Kong, and they can do it in Japan, why couldn't they do it in the US? That's what I want to know. Don't know what I paid for this one. It could have been $1.95, or it could have been $6.98. Those are typically what I pay for Nolan's releases from Music and More. Okay, this one I picked up from yesterday and today for $3. Jerry Maguire. Widescreen. This has 62 chapter markers and Spanish language audio on analog left. This is Columbia TriStar release 82536. Okay, I paid $3 for this one at yesterday and today. JFK. A lot of chapter markers. Preserves the original theatrical aspect ratio, but it doesn't say what that is. Runs 189 minutes. And a gatefold jacket. This is from Warner Home Video. Release 12306. $3 if I forgot to mention it. $3 even if I didn't forget to mention it. Okay, this one was $3 yesterday and today. Jimmy Buffett, 5 by the Bay. Each song has its own chapter marker. Last one being chapter 18, Margaritaville. This is from MCA Universal Home Video. Release 40332. Okay, occasionally I find out that a film had more than one cut of it released. For example, I didn't know until I was watching Turner Classic Movies that Tortora, the version shown in Japan was a little different than the version shown in the US. And all the other versions I have of that film, the opening credits, they mention Japanese sequences directed by, and then the final director's credit given to Richard Fleischer. But the DVD, which I got about the same time I saw it on Turner Classic Movies, and they mentioned that it had been slightly altered for Japanese release, it says American sequences directed by Richard Fleischer, and then the final director's credit directed by, and then the two Japanese directors. Well, according to the entry at the LaserDisc database for this film, this is the UK released version and not the US released version. Apparently the UK released version had alternate takes. I don't know what was different about them. I haven't seen this yet. I've seen the American release version, Pan and Scan anyway, on VHS 100 times. It's a movie that my wife and I both really like. And so we've seen that VHS tape from Fox Video a lot of times. Well, as I believe I stated, this is the UK cut, even though this is LaserDisc is a US release. Journey to the Center of the Earth. From CBS Fox Video. Doesn't have a whole lot of chapter markers. Only goes up to chapter 8, but then there are 9 chapter markers because it starts with 0. This is release 1248-85. Apparently there are some jackets where the spine says 1248-80, but my copy isn't one of them. If you can make that out, it says -85. 2 discs, not in a gatefold jacket. Good with stereo surround. Doesn't say anything about Dolby. Or as she says in this is Spinal Tap, doubly. That movie is funnier and funnier every time you see it. This is Spinal Tap. Which I have on VHS, and then I have the return of Spinal Tap on LaserDisc. And it was released on DVD, which I need to get because that DVD, well, there was at least one LaserDisc, DVD release. But one of them had running commentary track with all of the actors, but playing the parts that they played in the film. So it was like an alternate cut of the film, actually. I'm not going to bother taking this one out of the jacket. I already have a copy of this exact same release. Jurassic Park, Letterbox, THX certified release. Serves its original theatrical aspect ratio of 1.85 to 1. Is encoded with Dolby Surround Stereo. Runs 2 hours and 7 minutes, but it says both discs are extended play, which is CLV, which is CAA, and I don't know why they would do that. They could have easily made side 3 CAV, or they could have used CAA 65s for sides 1 and 2 and just put the whole film on one disc. Anyway, I paid $3 for that. I paid $3 for this. Canine. Encoded with CX noise reduction on the analog sound tracks, encoded with closed captioning, has digital sound, released by MCA Home Video, release 40880. Okay, runs 1 hour and 51 minutes. I believe this originally retailed for $34.95, but as I stated, I paid $3 for it. Paid $3 for this one, and this one I have on LaserDisc, letterboxed. I have it on DVD letterboxed also. Kelly's Heroes. As I mentioned the first time, Carol O'Connor is hilarious as a general in this film. Although the character played by Donald Sutherland, or the character as played by Donald Sutherland, makes no sense because he's obviously gay, but that's not the part that doesn't make sense. He's speaking using slang that was more common in the 60s and 70s, not slang that you would have heard in the 40s. But then Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid was that way. Used verbiage and slang not common in the Old West. Anyway, I've got another canceled release here. This is the one that I forgot to mention the name of last time. So I had to add that stupid annotation that didn't want to cooperate with me. Was originally going to be published by Kaskar. They canceled it before the jackets were printed. However, the discs were manufactured for commercial release by Curray. King Solomon's Mines, which of course was released in the US and probably everywhere else in the world. Kaskar release LD-NL-022, made in Japan by Curray. I'm kind of curious to see if Kaskar actually published anything. Seems like they were going around canceling everything. I paid $19.50 for that, for music and more. Okay, as I mentioned in the previous attempt at this video, this was subsequently re-released. This release has the incorrect aspect ratio. It's not as wide as it should be, so the telecine operator wound up pan and scanning within the letterbox image. I know, it doesn't make any sense, but that's what happened. La Femme Nikita. This is supposed to be a good film, released by Vidmark Entertainment. The subsequent re-release was also by Vidmark. It had a different catalog reference number, however. They don't mention on the jacket what the aspect ratio that they used is, or even what it was supposed to be. Rated R. Catalog reference number LDCVM5471WS. Perhaps the longest catalog reference numbers ever were from Vidmark, except possibly those from Polygram. Okay, I believe this is the last one I showed in a previous version of this. Listomania. This is a musical. I have not seen it yet. I believe I paid $3 for this at Yesterday and Today. The jacket is not in perfect condition, as you can see, from Warner Home Video. In fact, I can quite easily see Bill at Yesterday and Today saying, nah, that one's not anything. Nine chapter markers on side 1, 9 chapter markers on side 2. So that would be 18. See, I can do math. Warner Home Video Release 11117. Start throwing ones at me though, and I'll get confused. And he'll do that. He'll go 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 15, 15. It may have something to do with the fact that I buy more LaserDiscs from him than anybody else. Hey, we're getting into something I didn't show last time, which was my goal. And this is running long, but who cares? Because I think I've got the audio problem licked. Anyway, a little princess. Got this at yesterday and today for $3. From Warner Brothers Family Entertainment, although on the spine it says Warner Home Video. Widescreen preserves its original matted widescreen format, 1.85 to 1. Encoded with AC3 Dolby Digital, but they make that kind of hard to see. Release 19100. 15 chapter markers on side 1, 16 on side 2. That would be 31. My goal when I redid this was to actually mention the name of that canceled release instead of having to rely on an annotation, and to get further into the code what I had to show. This is a Disney release. The Little Mermaid. This jacket is immaculate. So I believe I only paid $3 for it. But anyway. The reason why Disney switched from Pioneer as a distributor to Image, although this is from the Pioneer days, is because Disney has a habit of releasing a title and then having it available for only a short period of time and then pulling it and then offering it again 7 years down the road. At least that's how they do it in the US. I don't know how they do it elsewhere. But Pioneer didn't want to have anything to do with that. So no, if you release it, you release it, and all copies are sold, and you have to order at least this many copies. And Disney said, we don't like that. So Image said, hey, you don't have to do that. So they switched to Image, although they told Image, you have to quit releasing porn. Image said, yes, Disney, we will quit releasing porn, and they promptly continued. Although they created several dummy companies, dummy labels. This is release 9138S, Walt Disney Home Video. They created LaserDisc Entertainment, which Disney caught on to. So then they created Creative Image. And from what I've been told in the forums at the LaserDisc database, Creative Image was even located right next door to Image Entertainment. The building for Image Entertainment, and then you had the building for Creative Image. And the contact information was the same. And a lot of the people that worked at Image Entertainment also worked at Creative Image. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure that one out. So, don't know if that's why Disney went with Image went with other labels for their porn like Apex and others. Local Hero, paid $3 for this. Warner Home Video, made in Japan. Sixteen chapter markers on side 1, 13 on side 2. Catalog reference number 11307. Now they have me interested. Who in Japan made it? Pioneer made it. Seems like most of the Warner Home Video titles were either made by Pioneer USA, Pioneer Japan, or WEA Manufacturing, their U.S. facility, only owned and operated by Warner Brothers. But they had another facility in West Germany, as it was then known. But I don't know if they made any discs for Warner Home Video's U.S. operation. Come on out now. I paid extra for this. Of course, I can't get it out. There's more than one way to skin a LaserDisc. Finally. Okay. This features in the cast one of my earliest loves, if you want to put it that way, and that is Jenny Agatha. Of course, I fell in love with her all over again when I saw her in American Werewolf in London. I have her in other films too, but this is the first film I saw her in, Logan's Run. Now, I don't know. There was supposed to be a remake to this. Did that ever come out? Because if it did, it was supposed to make a lot of money because they planned on filming the 2 books that were sequels. Farrah Fawcett was in the cast. She was to be the sexual appeal in the film, and yeah, I prefer Jenny Agatha. New digital transfer, Dolby digital soundtrack, audio commentary by Michael Anderson, Michael York, and costume designer Bill Thomas. MGM International Conference, Lion Roars Again, 1975 featurette. Look into the 23rd Century, 1976 featurette. Readings from Logan's Papa, Gatefold essay by William F. Nolan, exclusive for this LaserDisc release. He wrote the original novel. American Cinematographer Magazine, June 1976 reprint. Script excerpts of deleted scenes, costume design sketches, over 200 production stills, and much more. And I am sure the production stills include photographs of Jenny Agatha. There's the essay they mentioned from Papa Logan. This was distributed by Image Entertainment, but it has an MGM UA Home Video catalog reference number ML106353. Runs 1 hour and 58 minutes. sides 3 and 4 are in CAV. This disc contains coding for Dolby Digital Audio in place of analog audio channel to right. That is what they later started calling AC3 Dolby Digital. Should I stop now or do one more? I'll do one more. What the hey? I only live once. Unless you believe in reincarnation. Manchurian Candidate. This is not the remake. This is the original. Also own this on DVD. It's a classic movie. It has multi-audio. Digital tracks have the feature soundtrack, analog left, director's commentary, analog right, isolated music and effects. So it's like a free soundtrack album. There's a young-ish Angela Lansbury in this film. James Gregory, co-produced by John Frankenheimer, directed by John Frankenheimer, a really, really underrated director. He directed The Train with Burt Lancaster. He directed Seconds, a really underrated film with Rock Hudson, which didn't do well at the box office because people were expecting another sex romp thing like he was making with Doris Day at the time. But it's about as far away from a Doris Day film as you're going to get. Seconds. A really trippy film and highly recommended. And I have it on LaserDisc. In a gatefold jacket, even. Can't see what I'm doing. "52 chapter markers. The final side is all bonus material. Interviews, theatrical trailer, promotional materials, production stills, photographic diary, LaserDisc production credits. Okay, you tell me when to stop. I can't see. Of course, James Gregory is in this, and he played the heavy in more than one John Wayne film, and in an episode of the original Star Trek series. One of the best and brightest of modern American films, says Roger Ebert. Okay, I will stop there. I got further than I did last time. Of course, this video is longer than the last time I did it, and I'm doing it at a higher resolution. So this will probably take 256 years to upload. Because even the previous video I did, which wasn't widescreen and it wasn't as high resolution, that took over 10 hours to upload. Anyway, until next time, stay awesome.